Our other big story, of course, that we're following are these fires in western North Carolina, at least 3 of them. As we look at a live picture right now, this is the this is the Table Rock fire that is happening right now in South Carolina. This morning's update, what we have so far, it's around 1,200 acres. The Table Rock fire, along with the Persimmon fire, that's a little over 300 acres, are being fought together. They are complex fires, but good progress was made yesterday, setting up some fire breaks around the flames, especially on the east side of Table Rock. Areas to avoid if you are planning to head that way: Highway 11 between Westgate Road and New Hope Road, and a real difficult situation there. The other fire or fires that we're following, you can see the smoke there. Polk County fires, actually 3 massive fires, and then as of this morning, 0% contained in Polk County. The Black Cove Fire burning at least 2,800 acres, and then the Deep Woods Fire, that's about 2,700 acres. Wow, you can see those fire lines there and the damage it's causing, the terrain that you can only imagine firefighters having to traverse, and with their axes and other tools to get up to the areas where they need to fight. Let me show you a map now of how spread out this is, and we're looking at about 60 plus miles between the fires, maybe an hour drive between each fire, so very close in proximity to each other, but very challenging as well. So some burn evacuations in place since last Friday, especially throughout the state, through the Tar Heel State, right? So not burn evacuations, burn notices. Evacuations also put in place out there as well. Our Austin Walker did go to the scene yesterday. He spoke to E.J. Dwiggins with the NC Forest Service to talk about specifically the Polk County fires. This is his interview from yesterday. You're watching Live Impact News on WCNC+.
Yeah, so we encourage everyone to stay updated with the Polk County Emergency Management Team, the Henderson County Emergency Management folks. They're doing a great job posting evacuation orders, shelters on their websites and various other areas.
Gotcha. And then maybe walk me through, the steps you guys are taking. How is it able to fight this fire? I mean, obviously the mountains right now after Helene are not the easiest or accessible. So how is firefighting going?
Yeah, so access has been our number one concern. Not only are these crews fighting in very rugged, remote areas, I mean, this is some of the most rugged terrain Western North Carolina has to offer, but access into these areas is limited as well. So we're looking at single wide gravel roads, if that, old logging roads. And not only are they single wide and narrow, but they've been impacted heavily by Hurricane Helene debris. So we've got down trees everywhere. Our crews are having to cut their way through this debris just to get to these fire lines and to begin to establish containment.
I mean, we are in fire season right now, but I feel like this year, especially after Helene, has been more treacherous. Like all the new debris, all the new fuel. Is that what you guys are kind of facing, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. This community in particular has been hit very hard by Hurricane Helene, so it's almost been one disaster after another for these folks, and so we want to keep that in mind as we're fighting fire out here.
And then maybe walk me through, I mean, is it more of a on-the-ground attack, aerial attack? What are those looking like?
So we're utilizing all the resources, all the options that we have. We have crews currently on the ground. We have hand crews in there. They're using hand tools, backpack leaf blowers to clear debris around structures. We have aviation resources that we can use. However, if the winds get too high, those aviation resources are going to be unavailable to us.
Has that happened thus far? Maybe this weekend, was the wind pretty rough where you couldn't fly?
Yeah, last week when these fires started, we were looking at sustained 20, 30 mile an hour winds with gusts 40 to 50 miles an hour. So winds have definitely been a factor for us here.
And on those aerial attacks, obviously water is a big push for that. Where is that coming from? Are you guys flying in from somewhere? Where is that going?
Yeah, great question. So luckily we have a lot of lakes and reservoirs here in Western North Carolina that we can utilize to get water. I know some of our helicopters were getting water out of Lake Adger earlier this week, but it just kind of depends on where the need is.
Where is the structure? Are there any structures that have been damaged? Any ones that have been burned down thus far? Or has your team been pretty good so far?
Yeah, I can't comment on any of the structures, but Polk County. It'll be a question for emergency management.
Okay. And then my last question is, as we move forward, I think we got some rain in the Charlotte area today. What are we hoping for right now? Are we concerned that backburning won't be enough? Is there too much fuel out there? Like, what are the concerns moving forward?
Yeah, so we did receive a little bit of precipitation overnight. Not enough to fully extinguish these fires. It takes a lot more rain than people realize to extinguish a wildfire. So we didn't expect to receive more than 1/10 of an inch of rain. And so while this helped slow the fires down this morning, we do expect a return to gusty, dry conditions like we're experiencing currently.
And I hate this question I'm going to ask you. I know fire is unpredictable, but do we have any idea of when this maybe could be wrapped up? Are you talking days, hours, weeks, or is this just kind of an unknown?
Yeah. Well, if it was all up to all of us, we'd have this thing 100% contained and wrapped up, and we'd be headed home. But we're just going to have to see how it plays out.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, our Austin Walker talking to North Carolina Forest Service about what's happening there in the Polk County area with all of those fires. Some good information.